Artificial intelligence has become a rapid fixture in the lives of millions of Americans, whether some need answers to a question or advice, or someone just needs something to talk to. ChatGPT, Claude, and a slew of other bots are there. And while AI has its many flaws, one in particular is beginning to stand out. Cases of what is being dubbed AI psychosis have emerged throughout the country. The National Institute of Mental Health defining psychosis as a collection of symptoms that affect the mind, where there has been some loss of contact with reality, and experts are now raising the alarm on the dangers that AI could pose to people who are potentially vulnerable. I want to welcome in now Anthony Cesar Duncan, who personally experienced AI psychosis, and clinical psychologist with the Momentous Institute, Dr. Matthew Leahy. Gentlemen, thank you both for being here. Anthony, let me start with you, because I found your story on social media along with a number of other people who talked about building a relationship with a chat bot and then completely detaching from reality, waking up, for lack of a better word here, months later to their lives in shambles. Can you walk us through some of what you experienced and went through?
Yeah, so thank you very much for having me. I started using ChatGPT for business purposes, and then that spiraled into talking to it about conspiracy theories, and those they became delusions as soon as the chatbot would triple down, affirming that they were real, presenting it as facts, and everything just spiraled out of control until I threw away literally everything I owned. I lost my apartment, I lost my car, my business network, my full-time job, and ended up 5150 in a psych ward.
Oh my goodness. And what time span are we talking from the beginning of using AI to then that full-on spiral?
So I began using AI in 2023 May, so I would say it was about a year and a half until that spiraled.
Did you ever think that you would be vulnerable or susceptible to something like that?
No, I mean, I've always been on top of technology, always wanted to try the newest thing. And I saw a culture around me saying, like, it's okay to use it as a therapist. It's okay to
Yeah.
talk to it as you would a best friend. I never thought in a million years, as an adult even, that I would go through something like this, which brings me to say that if these things can happen to adults, it's only a million times worse for a child.
Dr. Leahy, let me bring you in here. What do you think is driving this recent uptick in AI psychosis cases? And to his point there, Anthony's point, I mean, he's an adult. You think about how many kids are accessing Chat, GPT, Claude, and all of these AI bots.
Well, I will say, while still uncommon, Anthony's story is coming in our offices more and more. So I'm so glad that we're shining a light on it today. AI bots are validating machines, and before you know it, conversations start to get deeper and deeper and going down different rabbit holes. And situations like his, again, are really manifesting and coming up. We're seeing it a lot more. At this point, it's not a diagnosable medical condition. We're not
Yeah.
diagnosing it, but it's a phenomenon that's growing.
Anthony, I want to ask you, you mentioned you started off using your AI bot for business purposes, and then you started to get into conspiracy theories. Can you describe your relationship with your AI chatbot? Because I've spoken to people, even in my own personal life, who use AI, and they've used it for mental health and therapy, and they almost have a human-like relationship with it.
Yeah, I feel like it's programmed to simulate interactions that you would have with a human. And while in the beginning of my use, I totally understood that it was just technology, when I was in full-blown psychosis, I thought that AI was a sentient, godlike being. And I even thought that I had put like 10% of my soul into AI. It's just wild to think about.
It's wild to me, because as I have done some research, and doctor, I'm sure you've heard this over and over, I've heard a good number of people describe it like that, this sentient godlike being, and that's a part of what gets them deep into that psychosis. Doctor, before I go back to you, Anthony, I'm just curious, how did you get on the path towards recovery? When did you snap out of it, if that's an appropriate word to use?
Yeah, well, I had the privilege of having my mom follow me, follow what was going on with me the entire time. She was calling my psychiatrist, she was calling the police department, she was talking with my friend Phaedra and other friends of mine to try to get me the help. And it was because of her that I got a wellness check, and then I got a second run-in with the police, and on that second run-in with the police, they determined I was a danger to myself and or others, giving them the legal right to put me in a psych ward, hold 5150, and yeah, if it wasn't for my loved ones, I wouldn't be here today.
Anthony, I'm so grateful that you are sharing your story and that you are in a better place now. Dr. Leahy, how do you go about treating individuals with AI psychosis? Again, I know this is a new phenomenon and not officially labeled in your field of work.
Yeah, I think in every case is different. Stories like Anthony are common, but we hear other ones as well, you know? And I think what we try to do is we help people put guardrails into place. So hopefully it doesn't get that far, you know? Like if you're noticing that you're spending more time talking to AI, if you're noticing that by the time your conversation is over, that the sun is coming up, that's a problem. And you want to put things into place, you know? And cutting off completely isn't the way to go. Sometimes that can make things worse. So we help people cut back or start to slowly cut back. As he was talking about, family and social support is so incredibly important. We run into a problem when bots start to replace those relationships. So we really try to get people grounded back into that. One other thing, nature, getting outside, so incredibly important. Green spaces, blue spaces. AI is coming, right? We're all going to be exposed to it, and it has the potential to do great things for us, but we can't lose track of who we are as humans either.
I am curious, doctor, with the power of artificial intelligence just growing by the day, how big of an issue do you think AI psychosis could end up being? And what would your message be to, I don't know, lawmakers or even these AI tech companies?
Well, what I would say is we are trying, I think the field in general, I think politicians, I think the AI leadership and whatnot, we're trying to get ahead of these issues when they come up. Things are moving at such lightning fast speed that there are unintended consequences. And I think this is one of them, you know, but I think companies are doing a better job of letting my colleagues help them reshape the next generation of bots that are coming, you know, so my hope is more and more of that. We need to all be working on this together for sure.
And Anthony, I want to give you the final word here, given that you experienced this firsthand, you're on a better path now. What would you say to someone struggling with AI psychosis right now, or someone even concerned that they might be headed down that rabbit hole? What advice do you have for them?
It's really hard because these cases are very specific, like case to case. But I would say nothing can replace a human interaction and connection. Like these chatbots may appear human-like in some ways, but nothing will replace a human-to-human connection.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we're highlighting this issue because it could potentially be a bigger one. And to your point, Anthony, I'm so glad you made it. You're a grown adult. You fell, into this rabbit hole. You imagine how many kids could kind of potentially fall into it as well. Anthony Cesar Duncan, Dr. Matthew Leahy, gentlemen, both thank you for being here and again shining a spotlight on this.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.